What's going on, YouTube? Alright, let's be clear. There are few top-notch jobs in the U.S., especially with the way the economy is growing. Everybody's even consolidating their high-ranking, high-paying positions simply because of the public outroar at the fact that so many high-level executive jobs are making stupid amounts of money, while these same companies are asking for bailouts and asking for financial help. So there are limited numbers of those jobs. So you can't even say that the majority of white men have these top-notch executive jobs in terms of the professional rank, because the jobs are limited to begin with. But whenever we talk about the professional, corporate, educated black woman, she always wants to act like black women are filling these high CEO, president, vice president positions, and we're just at the top of the food chain. And it's so bullshit that it's not even funny. Of course you have a couple of standouts who are doing well, but everybody has standouts, and that's the key word. They're standouts. They're standouts. And what makes it even more eye-opening is that a lot of women who are throwing this out must not even be around a lot of professional black women to begin with. Like I said before, I feel like my credentials are on point to speak about educated black women because I'm around a whole lot of them. So they're not some myth to me. They're not some secret. I don't turn on a TV or a Tyler Perry movie and base my opinions off of it. I base it off of real life, real people. And the average professional black woman isn't in this high-ranking, super executive position. They're rank and file just like everybody else. And I'm not trying to say this to put them down, because it's the same thing with black men. Of course, out of black men, you're going to have a couple who are in those high-ranking positions. Don't get me wrong. But for the vast majority of us, we're not really there. But it's one of those misconceptions that destroy any type of debate or dialogue that we want to have, right? Because you have black women who feel like they can use the educated black woman to represent all of black womanhood, and to make it even worse, they want to act like that same black woman is a high-ranking Oprah Winfrey, Angela Burt Murray type position, when that's not the case. And the reality is, there are so many black women who go to school just to say they went to school, right? Just so they can get some job making 36 to 40,000, so that they don't have to rely on a man, and they can pretty much, scrape by. And when I mean scrape by, get a nice Lexus or something, get an apartment, get a condo, and blow their money and go on trips and all that other stuff. There are so many women trapped in that lifestyle that's not even funny. Not to say that all of y'all are doing that, but there's so many that are. But then these are the same women who want to turn around and act like the professional black woman is kicking butt. And that's not what's going on. Really, it isn't. So if you're a black woman and you really are on some I'm trying to debate and get this issue out there, you have to do better in terms of forming realistic outlooks on what's going on, right? Because even the quote-unquote professional black women don't even have a realistic understanding of what's going on, and they're trying to inflate what's going on. And at the end of the day, the biggest thing that their side is not understanding is that your numbers are still relatively small on a holistic level, right? The professional black woman is content at being at the top of the food chain in terms of black America. But look at where black America is. Why would you be content? Why? Why would you be happy being the best player on the worst team in the league? Right? But we're sitting up here and the black women are so content, and they're throwing down all these judgments and expectations, and you're on a losing squad. So you do see black men saying, yo, I got my shit together, but I don't want to play for this team. I'm not even talking about dating. I'm just talking about how he feels about the black community. Right? This is a losing squad. Let me change up my philosophy and therefore join the Lakers or, some other team that's going to be a contender. While you have the black woman who wants to be, the best player on the Charlotte Bobcats. So anyways, once again, y'all got to do better on your part and actually have a realistic viewpoint and stance on where you're coming from, right? Because I understand all the flaws of educated professional black men. Like, yeah, we have a lot of problems. Our shit is not all together. And I know for a fact, like, it's blatantly obvious that we don't represent all of black America in terms of the male side. So anyways, tell me how you feel. Take it easy. God bless.